Welcome back to Views with Hughes, Culture and News. This is Jerome Hughes. Now let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, if you're still a Star Wars fan or just basically someone who's tired of the way things seem to be going in some corners of our culture, especially under Kathleen Kennedy's leadership at Lucasfilm, you're going to want to stick around for this because Kathleen Kennedy has been at the center of so many controversies, as you all know, surrounding Star Wars. And this story is just another one that raises eyebrows about how Kathleen Kennedy is running the ship, or in other words, just ruining the ship. And fans of Star Wars have watched Kathleen Kennedy make decisions that seem to prioritize agendas over storytelling, and the consequences are becoming impossible to go ahead and ignore. So here's the situation. Adam Bray, a writer who's been a big part of the Star Wars and Marvel universes, recently revealed that he was effectively cut out of working on the latest edition of the Star Wars Encyclopedia. Now, you might be wondering, why would a guy, who's been praised as one of the best Star Wars writers out there suddenly not get a call for the project that he's been doing for years? Well, under Kathleen Kennedy and her leadership, however, it seems like this kind of story is becoming more and more common. You see, Kathleen Kennedy and her focus seems less on, rewarding talent and more on pushing the woke agenda that appears to alienate some of the most loyal contributors to the franchise. And Adam Bray's experience isn't the first time that Kathleen Kennedy and her leadership at Lucasfilm has led to serious questions about fairness and priorities. You see, Kathleen Kennedy and her approach to leadership is basically starting to overshadow the legacy of Star Wars itself. So we're going to go ahead and keep talking about this. And before we do that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification, so that way you're notified of future uploads and updates. And also, if you enjoy what I shared in this video so far, go ahead and smash the like button, share the video for our across social media. But you know what? According to Bray, it wasn't about his skills or anything or the quality of his work. It was something far more troubling. Basically, according to reports and stuff from thatpopulist.com, he's being dropped because of his race and gender. Let that sink in for a moment. A man who's dedicated years of his life to crafting the content for fans of a galaxy far, far away was sidelined not because he didn't deliver, but because apparently he didn't check the right diversity boxes. And who's at the helm of Lucasfilm during this push? Kathleen Kennedy. Now, Kathleen Kennedy and her policies and priorities are leading to different decisions that many fans and creators are finding hard to swallow. Now, how exactly do you justify sidelining one of your best writers for reasons that have nothing to do with the quality of the work? Now, under Kathleen Kennedy, this kind of thing seems to be, happening more often, and it's not sitting well with fans or creators. Now, Kathleen Kennedy's name is now synonymous with decisions that many feel undermine the values or the fairness and merit. You see, Bray also says that DK, the publisher behind the encyclopedia, told them that they were following a mandate from Lucasfilm, surprise, surprise, Kathleen Kennedy, to hire more diverse writers. That's why he wasn't brought back. And let me tell you this isn't just speculation. See, Bray's work had been praised by executives at both DK and Lucasfilm in the past, and one even told him that he was their best writer. So why the setting changed? Well, under Kathleen Kennedy, it seems the focus has shifted from rewarding merit to enforcing what they call diversity, or as we call it, wokeism. And Kathleen Kennedy and her name keeps coming up in these stories, and it's hard to ignore the pattern here. But it just gets down to this. It seems like the answer lies in the corporate push for, what they call diversity. But here's the thing. Diversity should never come at the expense of fairness. Now, if someone has the talent and experience, they shouldn't be disqualified only because of their race or gender. That's not progress. That's not equality. That's just another form of discrimination. And this is all happening while Kathleen Kennedy continues to steer Lucasfilm in a direction that many fans, including myself, find troubling. You see, Kathleen Kennedy and her leadership all seem focused on checking different checking boxes rather than fostering creativity and rewarding hard work. But here's what all of this means for, Star Wars as a franchise. You see, Star Wars is supposed to be, you know, a story for everyone. It's about hope, redemption, and standing up against tyranny. These are the universal things that transcend race, gender, or even background. But under Kathleen Kennedy, it feels like, you know, Lucasfilm has lost sight of what made Star Wars special in the first place. Instead of just focusing on storytelling, it seems that like there's a bigger emphasis on woke agendas and mandates that have little to do with delivering the best content to fans. And Kathleen Kennedy and her decisions are shaping the future of this once beloved franchise. And guess what? No surprise, a lot of fans are not even happy about it. And Adam Bray co-wrote several editions of this encyclopedia, and yet for the latest version, they didn't even tell me what's happening. He wasn't even asked to contribute, and he wasn't compensated, even though they still list him as a co-author on multiple books. People, that's just, in my opinion, unprofessional. It's not just unprofessional, it's downright shady. And the fact that this is happening while Kathleen Kennedy oversees Lucasfilm only raises more questions about the priorities at play here. You see, Kathleen Kennedy, her oversight seems to be causing more problems than solutions, you know, especially when you consider how often these controversies seem to surface, and they surface a lot. Now, Bray also pointed out something else that's worth mentioning. Gina Carano, the actress who played Cara Dune on The Mandalorian, was included in the latest edition of the encyclopedia. But guess what? I mean, the characters from the Acolyte, which is, you know, definitely a series some fans have speculated, you know, has a political agenda, were left out. And it's almost like Lucasfilm under Kathleen Kennedy is basically cherry picking what fits their narrative and tossing out anything or anyone that doesn't align with the current priorities. And Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm seems more focused on, you know, shaping the narrative than serving the fans. And let's not forget about The Mandalorian visual guide that got canceled shortly after Gina Carano was fired. And coincidence? Maybe, but Bray says it sure smells fishy. And honestly, I'm inclined to agree with him. You see, Kathleen Kennedy and her leadership keep finding itself at the center of these issues, and it's actually hard to ignore the current trend itself. But here's the thing, people. When you start prioritizing agendas over talent, it's not just the creators who lose, it's the fans also. And guess what? We're the ones who miss out on the best possible content because decisions are being made for reasons that have nothing to do with the quality of the work. And it's not just what it should be about, giving the fans the best source. It's not what it should be about in the first place, but the best characters and the experience possible. But under Kathleen Kennedy, that doesn't even seem to be the case anymore. You see, Kathleen Kennedy and her approach to like the way she leads the company itself is alienating the fans and the creators alike. And it's putting the future of Star Wars in jeopardy. I mean, at this point, you know, it's going to be hanging on his last thread. But do you think it's fair for someone like Adam Bray to be sidelined because of a so-called diversity mandate? Do you think that, you know, DK crossed the line, or like legally or ethically? And what do you make of the way that they're handling Gina Carano's legacy in Star Wars universe? Does Kathleen Kennedy's leadership inspire confidence, or does it leave you to wondering, you know, where things went wrong? Drop your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below, because guess what? This is a conversation that needs to happen, and Kathleen Kennedy and her name keep coming up, and it's clear that fans have a lot to say about the direction of Lucasfilm and Star Wars itself. So yeah, at the end of the day, this isn't just, you know, about Adam Bray or Gina Carano. It's about the kind of world that we want to live in. And do we want a world where people are judged by their work, their character, and their contributions, or basically one where they're reduced to a box to be checked off of a list? You know, I know where I stand, and I'm willing to bet a lot of you feel the same way. And honestly, I think a lot of frustration fans that feel these days come down to the choices that's being made by Kathleen Kennedy and her writing team at Lucasfilm. You see, Kathleen Kennedy and her decisions are definitely shaping the future of Star Wars, and fans actually deserve better. So like I said, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you may have this particular topic. If you enjoy what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share the video for all across social media. And if you haven't done so already, you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification, so that way you're notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.